Trustees.com.
Yeah. Since there's a question that I've been trying to answer myself since the beginning of this symposium. Entrepreneurship is business and idea is idea, of course. But from what I have observed, business, when an idea is put into business, it is naturally degraded because those who engage in entrepreneurship try to satisfy what people want instead of what is good for the idea, how it's initially planned to go. So, in weighing both, which should be given more weight? What the earner consumers wants or the initial plans for the idea itself?
Do you have anybody in mind you want to direct that question to?
I don't know for that.
Any of the panelists want to take that? Basically, balancing what's business and what's... I'll chime in briefly and then I'll ask for other panelists. So, a business or venture, an idea that cannot generate revenues over a period of time is not a business. So you have to do what's right for your customer. You have to build a product that somebody will be willing to pay for. Otherwise, it's not a business. So if it's going to cost dilution, it's going to cost, if there's going to be internal debate between you and your investors, it's all part of the whole process. So I would not shy away from any debates. So I'm not sure if that's answering this question, but I saw Paco, so go ahead, Paco.
Let me get this straight. Are you feeling guilty about making money?
No, sir. I was thinking of if there's any way to earn out of an idea without actually degrading it by, being pressured by the consumers.
So, okay, this sounds degrading.
No, that's not what I mean, sir.
No, I know what you mean, I think, because I come from UP, and in UP, many of us there believe that money is evil. Especially for inventors and for scientists, and we do it for love of science or invention. Am I on the same wavelength or different frequency? Almost same. Okay, tune up. So I'm maybe different frequency.
Maybe I can chime in what Ronna whispered to me earlier. Somebody said about feeling guilty about making a profit. Yeah. And I think Ronna said, who are those people? Because apparently she does not feel guilty when she makes a profit. And again, a business has to make a profit to be sustainable.
But let me help Eric, because you guys are from the States and you make a lot of money. Over here in the Philippines, I've met many people from my university that when I tell them that I'm going to sell this product for double the amount it takes me to make it. So that's what we call 50% gross margin. Okay? Those UP guys get scandalized. They say, what? 50%? It only takes you 50 pesos and you're selling it for 100 pesos. Well, I've gone through that myself, so I'm being an inventor, and I've seen my invention try and survive for maybe 20 years now. But now no one wants to make it because it's getting expensive to license it, to pay the royalties. And so me as an inventor, I feel bad because it's no longer in production. So I'd be happier if the one who licensed it is selling it for a big profit, so I can see my invention out there in the market. Because hopefully my invention helps the lives of people. If it's the poor people in the Philippines, great. If it's a rich, fat guy on the couch watching TV, that's okay also, as long as he pays. But there's no way to sustain your business if you don't make that extra margin, because that extra margin goes to all the engineers that made the product. Because the 50% is just for manufacturing. The other money goes to the engineering, the R&D, which normally takes 20% in many high-tech companies. Then how to sell it? Another 20% maybe. So those are, and then in the end, you need some profit so that the investors will keep putting money into this company. I hope I'm answering you, but that's the reason why economically it's important for us to have a profit margin.
Maybe instead of the word degrading, maybe what you should say is commercializing it.
Oh, not really. I have a clear idea. I mean, when an idea is created, it starts out very young and incomplete and has more room for improvements. However, what I'm asking is, do we let the consumers drive the evolution of that idea, or as planned, what's good in the inventor's head, or what the consumers want?
Yeah, I think I get your question. Look, most engineers, scientists, technologists that I know think their idea is a good idea and people use it. That's the assumption. The way you're asking the question, you're assuming that people, by giving you feedback on your product, will ultimately make it worse. But it's actually the opposite. People are the ones that are going to make your product great. Because if it doesn't get used, it's not a great product. So I think maybe the way to think about the problem is, as an inventor, feedback from the outside is actually a positive thing that can make your invention and your idea grow and flourish.
Good afternoon. My name is Anthony Chubidea. I am from Breakout Interface Computer College. Thank you.
No fan allowed.
All right. We understand that you have a lot of purpose why you have this symposium and workshop. But I bring in my students to be part of this big opportunity for us. We know that this year theme is more on entrepreneurial. But my question is, after this symposium and 2 days workshop, at the same time the July 2 days workshop again, what do you expect from us? Will you expect us to have a business at this time, or anything that will come along our way? Or we'll just say where this journey leads us? Because this is our first time to join this kind of symposium. And as a first timer, we are expecting a lot from this. But again, is this will end for 3 days workshop, or what will happen next for this? Thank you.
So I think, Ahmed, would you like to take that since you and Aaron are running the workshop?
I think, let me say that 3 days, next 2 days, our hope and our desire is for everybody who can attend put 110% into it, because what you put in is what you're going to bring up. So the workshops are very interactive. You will learn not only some concepts and methods, but you will really get to practice actually some of the challenging problems that an entrepreneur or a startup actually struggles with in early stages. From how do you screen out an idea if you have an idea, is it real, whether you pursue it or not, to whether you can take that idea and put it into action and expect success. How do you evaluate success? What does success mean? To some really detailed recommendations, such as what kind of tools you need to have in your toolkit in order to model the business and market product. So it is very hands-on. It is not lectures and panels mostly. Most of the time we will give a short lecture, and then we split the groups into smaller teams. Each team being mentored by one of the trustees, me or else. And then we evaluate. Actually, it's quite brutal, to be honest. At times, those of you who are not used to constructive confrontation, meaning some positive criticism, you will also get to experience that in a team environment. And that is the first stage to being an entrepreneur. You have to be able to accept positive criticism. Because if you can't, you won't be successful. So you're going to, at the end of 2 days, you will have a very good understanding. I think, one, do you really want to be an entrepreneur now? Two, if you have an idea, how to evaluate your idea and how to put it into early stage practice. And then the second stage in July, then we will learn how to take it to the next stage. So the only thing we can say is the response we have got from the last 2 sessions has been very positive. And as we move, we keep improving the feedback we get from the students and also the teachers. So these sessions are not just useful for students. I think they're extremely useful for the teachers that come in with the students, because they get exposed to some concepts that they also haven't been exposed to.
Thank you, Ahmed. Thank you for that question. I know you may have more questions. We no longer have time for questions. But we do have a post-symposium survey. In addition to the survey, you may write your additional questions there, and we'll make sure to address it at our next meeting. That's one, Eric.
All right, so we have a very special guest I'd like to introduce. We mentioned him when he arrived today, Mr. Brian Gov't arrived in Manila, and